Tonight on CTV News at 11:30. A tax hike is on the table in Fauquier-Strickland.
It means I'm going to have to pay more taxes for nothing. Should be them that's paying it. Shouldn't be us.
The mayor says the drastic measure was a provincial mandate to secure crucial emergency funding. Plus, taking on more patients.
The main focus of today is growing options and increasing access to primary care for yet another high-need postal code in our community.
A healthcare center in the Sioux receives provincial funding. And a special birthday celebration, thousands of feet in the air.
When you're in your dream, that you're falling, well, that's exactly what it feels like.
A Sudbury senior proves age is just a number by checking off an item on her bucket list.
CTV News at 11:30 with Ian Campbell and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good Friday evening. Thanks for joining us. Ian is off tonight. We begin in Greater Sudbury, where there were a pair of brush fires in the community of Hanmer. One on Raider Road is out, while crews are working to suppress the other fire. This was the scene on Gravel Drive in Hanmer just a few hours ago. The MNR says the 1.7 hectare fire near the Valley East Cemetery is not under control. An initial attack of the blaze was carried out using aerial suppression from 2 water bombers and a helicopter, followed by fire ranger crews. Both fires ignited around 3 this afternoon. Highway 11 was closed for a few hours today near Matheson, east of Timmins, because of a collision. Provincial police say the crash happened on Highway 11 at Burton Road in Matheson. It involved a transport truck and a horse and buggy. The 4 people in the buggy were taken to hospital with injuries, but there is no update on their conditions. The road has partially reopened with traffic using 1 lane. Highway 17 was closed in both directions near Sudbury this afternoon following a 2-vehicle crash. OPP say the collision happened at Southview Drive near Kelly Lake. Both drivers were taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The road reopened around 6 p.m. The municipality of Fauquier-Strickland recently passed a draft budget to raise property taxes by 80%. The mayor tells CTV News that draft budget is currently under review by the province. Tremblay says the draft was a requirement by the province or the municipality wouldn't receive any emergency funding. CTV's Lydia Chubak has details.
People who live in Fauquier-Strickland are facing a massive tax hike. Mayor and Council recently passed a draft budget that proposes an 80% increase as a result of the municipality being $2.5 million in debt and its bank not lending it any more money. Mayor Madeleine Tremblay says the province required the draft budget before agreeing to give the municipality 3 monthly installments totaling $300,000. That money is to help ensure operations like garbage collection continue and payments for policing and social services are made, as council is obligated to maintain all services.
I don't know if it's realistic to raise our taxes 80%. Realistically, for our expense that we have, but and the municipality will have to. We already did lots of cuts. Council does recognize the need for a significant tax increase, though. But I can read you this. They are also concerned with the ability of ratepayers to afford this increased levy.
Residents I spoke with are angry about the municipality's financial crisis, and most people did not want to appear on camera. Those who did agree to speak publicly say council has made some poor financial decisions over the past few years, such as building a new municipal office and medical centre.
What do? I want to start a business down the road. I've spent over $200,000 renovating an old restaurant and a store beside it and a house, and I want to get a business going, and now I don't even know what my taxes are going to be. I don't know if I can get insurance. It's really scary.
It means I'm going to have to pay more taxes for nothing. Should be them that's paying it. Shouldn't be us.
One woman who did not want to appear on camera says the 80% tax increase is just a draft proposal at this time and says people should hold off on bashing the mayor and council. Some residents are calling on the mayor to resign.
You don't start running when the tough time are coming. And that's why, but I have to tell you, it's the hardest thing is the separation into the community between the people.
Tremblay says the municipality now awaits a response about its draft budget from the province, at which point council will have to determine a final tax increase. Bills will be sent out in early September. Tremblay says 49% of the municipality's tax revenue comes from a gas company that runs a pipeline on its land, and about 500 residential property owners make up the other half. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Fauquier-Strickland.
An Anishinaabe-led post-secondary school in Sault Ste. Marie has hit another benchmark in its accreditation process. Shinwak Kinu Magagamik, or SKG, received a 10-year approval from the Indigenous Advanced Education Skills Council. This approval allows SKG to submit new programs directly to the council for standalone accreditation. The school is partnered with Algoma University and is working to become a degree-granting post-secondary institution. This approval brings it one step closer. The Timmins Fire Department is in dire need of a new aerial fire truck, according to its fire chief. Scott Atkinson told council at a special meeting this afternoon that it will need to fork over around $2.4 million for the equipment 3 years sooner than projected. He says existing aerial equipment is from the early 2000s and that one is already out of commission, and that a new platform vehicle is guaranteed to last around 20 years.
Our aerial apparatuses are, the one is definitely end of life. I don't know that it can be repaired. And with the increase in costs, maintenance costs on these equipment in the last, I'd say 5 years has been going through the roof. So we're trying to get ahead, be proactive here, and have a reliable piece of equipment that we can depend on.
Council agreed to purchase the vehicle, part of over $4 million in contracts approved this afternoon. A new bulldozer and a backhoe were among the other spending items on the special meeting agenda. 2 weeks ago, North Bay Council made amendments to its accountability and transparency bylaw. Council voted to amend its bylaw so all councillors' expenses are posted publicly. Their expense reports are now available online. This stems from Mayor Peter Cherico using a city-issued credit card for $16,000 in personal expenses. While he's paid that back, he has returned his credit card to the city. An investigation is being done by the OPP into the use of the card. A Greater Sudbury man is urging the Ministry of Natural Resources not to kill his hybrid wolf dogs. He has 16 of the animals on his property in a secured 2-acre fenced-in enclosure. He's trying to work with the MNR to relocate them to a sanctuary instead of the government euthanizing them. CTV's Alana Everson reports.
Brighton Bongard is a butcher by day and is feeding his 16 hybrid wolf dogs raw chicken. He knows them all by name and lays down in their enclosure with them to bond and play. He says he knows time with them may be running out with a pending seizure of the animals by the MNR.
There's no more legal action I can take. I already have 2 lawyers that are basically fighting them in court to keep my dogs alive. But at the end of the day, the ministry said one way or another will come and take your dogs. And that's all they said.
He says it all started when a friend gave him 5 puppies and was told they may have wolf in them. After a barn fire on his property, he got visits from bylaw and the Ministry of Natural Resources about the hybrid animals. He says he's worked with the MNR to fix all of them and do DNA testing.
The ministry, all they've said is that they're 57% wolf, and they haven't really commented on what the other half is. And unfortunately, over time, it went from we have a sanctuary to we might have a sanctuary to we have a sanctuary for some of your dogs to the last time I talked to someone at the MNR, they said basically we have to figure out a way to properly dispose of your dogs.
In a statement, the MNR says the government is committed to ensuring wildlife in captivity are treated with care and respect. In general, it's against the law to keep wild animals from Ontario as pets or to hold them in captivity. As this is an active case, MNR is unable to comment further. This retired veterinarian who operated a former wildlife refuge center and is currently involved in fish and wildlife research to ensure animal welfare procedures are looked at properly, says wolves belong in the wild and that they can be unpredictable.
When they get to be mature, they're more like a pack animal, and the owner will be part of that pack, but any other person walking by is not a part of that pack, and they're an intruder. So that's where the danger gets involved.
Dr. Yopi says there are other risks linked to having exotic pets.
Getting killed, getting bitten, zoonotic disease from some exotic animals. Of the diseases that people get, 75% are from animals. So there is that contagious aspect.
Bongard says he knows he did wrong and is willing to face the consequences, but doesn't think the animals deserve to be euthanized. He adds it's a waiting game right now to find out what the MNR will do with his hybrid wolf dogs. Alana Everson, CTV News, Wanapitei.
More healthcare funding is on the way in Sault Ste. Marie. Today saw the second of 3 announcements made by the provincial government, where a health center that primarily serves vulnerable populations will nearly triple its patient roster. CTV's Corey Nordstrom has more.
The Sault Community Health Centre will soon go from roughly 900 patients to over 2,600. It's a result of funding from the province's Primary Care Action Plan, targeting areas with the highest number of unattached Ontarians.
This round of funding of $807,000 is going to allow us to hire an additional registered nurse, an RPN, and a receptionist, as well as funding for 1 FTE physician.
The main focus of today is growing options and increasing access to primary care for yet another high need postal code in our community, and hitting it at a different level.
Since its opening in 2023, the Downtown Health Centre has focused on vulnerable populations and people that may otherwise go without health care.
Our mandate has always been to provide accessible services, primary care services, to people who either score poorly on the social determinants of health, mental health and addictions, the homeless, LGBTQ population.
Because of the staffing increase, the centre will be able to add to the type of work done by staff and the times they do it.
We can increase our hours, which allows clinics to be run outside of the 8:30 to 4:30 hours. So increased access means people have to take less time off work when they're coming for support. So that shifts the hours of individual support a little bit that I can do. It also allows space for group type activities.
While officials at the Sault Community Health Centre say they are grateful for the funds they received for staffing, money for a larger location was rejected from the centre's application. They say a new home is necessary and staff will have to share office space until a solution comes together. Officials will be applying for the next round of this funding. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
The Ontario Drug Policy Research Network indicated a decrease in drug-related deaths last month compared to the same period last year. CTV's Madison Merrier has more on the impacts of the opioid crisis in Sudbury.
Every statistic represents a person, and in the quarterly update from the ODPRN, 605 people have passed away from drug-related causes in the last 3 months.
In relation to the coroner's report that just came out, in Sudbury, there has been a slight decrease from the period of January to, I believe it's May or June, in 2025 compared to 2024. But again, the number is marginal and not a huge difference.
It's really important that we humanize people and see folks as our neighbors, because they are our neighbors. These are our community members, our family, our friends, and really just remember that. And it's not helping anybody to stigmatize folks, to demonize people.
According to the report, Thunder Bay, Sudbury and districts and Porcupine health units have reported the highest number of opioid toxicity-related deaths in the last 2 years.
Industrial sectors, a higher rate of injuries and high-risk work can lead to more exposure to opioids. opioids, also things like geographical isolation and not having the same access to supports and programs. And additionally, in Northern Ontario, we see a high rate of trauma and colonial trauma that can contribute to things like substance use and addiction.
I think it's really important that folks remember that we're not even towards the end of the year yet, right? We're still in the third quarter of the year, and there are 75 suspected opiate overdose deaths in Sudbury and district over the past 7 months, and that is absolutely tragic.
Pellin spoke about how these deaths can be prevented.
I think the best thing folks can do is be trained on how to use naloxone and be trained on overdose recognition and response. I think it's crucial. So I just really, really encourage folks to get trained on naloxone, and folks can do that within our organization.
On Friday, August 29th, the Rezo Access Network is hosting an open house for community members in the city to learn more about the opioid crisis, recognition, and response. Madison Marier, CTV News, Sudbury.
There are more emergency room closures in Algoma. The North Shore Health Network says the emergency department at the Thessalon site is shut down tomorrow from 8 a.m. until 8 in the morning on Monday, August 25th. So if you need care, head to Blind River, Richards Landing, or Sioux Area Hospital. For emergencies, call 911. Time now for a short break here on CTV News. Coming up, I will have your full weather forecast. For now, a look at the current conditions around the region. So we've got some cloud coverage across the board. The rain hasn't started quite yet. We are expecting some showers depending on where you are across the Northeast this weekend. 21 degrees, clear skies in Timiskaming Shores. Full forecast coming up next.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Welcome back. We're swapping out the sunshine for a few showers this weekend, but hey, the gardens are going to like it. Let's get into it, starting with the forecast radar. So as you can see across the screen, some scattered precipitation across the board throughout your Saturday, continuing on into Sunday, but it's more in the northern half of our broadcast region where you're going to see the most heavily concentrated areas of rainfall. But then as you continue into Sunday, everywhere is going to see a little bit of rain here and there at some point this weekend. 7-day forecast starting with Sudbury Nickel Belt, chance of showers for tomorrow, risk of thunderstorms, high of 22, chance of showers on Sunday, high of 18. By Monday, temperatures fall to 15 degrees with a chance of showers continuing on. But then by Wednesday, we see that sunshine return again. Temperatures start to climb to around seasonal for this time of year, which is about 22 degrees. For Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, chance of showers for tomorrow with some sunny breaks, high of 26. Feeling warmer than that with the humidex, chance of showers on Sunday, continuing on into Tuesday. Only 15 degrees on Tuesday, single-digit lows overnight, only 9 degrees. And then by Wednesday, mix of sun and cloud back-to-back on Wednesday and Thursday as we get closer to the weekend. For Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, chance of showers for tomorrow, risk of thunderstorms, high of 22 degrees, 17 on Sunday with a chance of showers, 12 degrees on Monday, well below seasonal there. Chance of showers on Tuesday and Wednesday, but hopefully we get to see a few sunny breaks here and there. For Timiskaming Shores, Kirkland Lake, chance of showers, risk of thunderstorms for tomorrow, high of 22, sitting at the seasonal mark. However, it will feel warmer than that, though, with the humidex holding on to that humidity as we continue into the weekend. Chance of showers Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. By Wednesday, mix of sun and cloud, high of 20 degrees, and then a chance of showers on Thursday with a high of 22. And finally for North Bay, West Nipissing, chance of showers, risk of thunderstorms for tomorrow, high of 24, 20 degrees on Sunday. By Monday, only 15 degrees. Monday appears to be the coolest day of the next week, it appears. By Tuesday, chance of showers, high of 17, but then by Wednesday, temperatures start to pick up a little bit closer as we get closer to the Labor Day long weekend. The Sudbury Navy League and Sea Cadets are holding an open house Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They are showing off their new boathouse that has been under renovation for about 2 years. The boathouse has been a major community effort as they have received funding from national programs and local businesses to rebuild the structure and program. The updated boathouse also comes with new boats for members to learn sailing basics and safety, especially since falling is a common occurrence. They hope the open house will enlighten the public about the program and eventually lead to a career.
So it's a sailing center. It's been here for over 40 years, and it'll hopefully be here for another 40 years, and for the enjoyment and the of our local kids from 9 years old to 18 years old for sailing and training and winter training. We'll be using it for a number of purposes, and some of the other local organizations will use it as well.
Aside from great life lessons, Paula Matier says they also make lifelong friends. The City of North Bay has unveiled a new freshwater docking system pool. There was a ribbon cutting today on Trout Lake where the new infrastructure went in. The dock is C-shaped, allowing for a 50-meter enclosed swimming area on the lake. It provides added safety to swimmers and creates a new space for aquatic activities. The Ontario Hockey League will be hitting the ice for exhibition play Labor Day weekend and has teams traveling to non-OHL cities to play some of those games. The Sudbury Wolves will be playing a game in Timmins in September.
Yeah, obviously exhibition games you're always trying to evaluate, but it's always good even for the fans and different communities to get behind it. And you know what, for our players, we're going to be playing that team in 2 regular season games this year. But biggest thing for us, we're always evaluating, no matter if it's when you show up to the rink, what you're doing in the community, you know, how you carry yourself on ice in practices. So for us, we're always evaluating. We don't want only good hockey players, we want good people as well.
The full schedules for all 3 Northern clubs are up on their websites and social media, including the exhibition season. A big block party is happening in downtown North Bay tomorrow, and there is a big Canadian band headlining it. The Trues are taking to the main stage tomorrow night at 8:30. There's free entry all day to the festival grounds, and there will be plenty of music and food vendors. By the way, Main Street is going to be closed to vehicles from Algonquin to Sherbrooke. Organizers say this event is to celebrate local businesses and support the North Bay community. Looks like a good time. Still ahead tonight on CTV News. Most people are content to celebrate a birthday with cake and candles, but for one Sudbury senior, the party is in the sky. More on that after this break. Finally for us tonight, here's proof you're never too old to check off an item on your bucket list. CTV's Angela Gemmel now on how a Sudbury senior celebrated her birthday.
How you doing, sweetie?
Meet Carol Sheminsky. She turned 85 this week, and to mark the occasion, she jumped out of a plane.
It feels very slowly that you're coming down and you're looking around and you're talking to your to the instructor there's there with you.
Going skydiving was on Carol's bucket list. Not being afraid of heights, she took the plunge as a birthday gift to herself.
If there's anybody that has dreamt of when you're in your dream that you're falling, well, that's exactly what it feels like. You get that jolt, but you don't wake up, you're going down, and you're going down really fast.
Long since retired from her job as a bread delivery driver, Carol spends a lot of time volunteering at her church. She says she doesn't have any health issues that would have prevented her from going ahead with the extreme experience. But landing was a challenge.
I have both knee replacement and shoulder replacement, and it was a little bit harder. So I'm glad I did it now, because if I would have waited longer, I know I wouldn't be able to do it, because you really have to bend your knees, and that's not working very good for me now. So I did it. I'm happy, and you do it once, you get that rush to go back, and if I was younger, yes, I would do it again.
The mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother drove from her home in Sudbury to Cookstown, north of Toronto, to jump in tandem with an instructor. She didn't tell anyone what she was doing until afterwards, saying she didn't want to worry them.
The reaction was, yeah, she did it. I have one grandson said, well, you know what? Not me. I wasn't surprised. If I hear somebody say, look, Baba's running with the bulls, just I'll believe it.
Carol was mum on what's next on her bucket list, but she did say if she was somewhere with zip lining, she would try that. And as for her advice to others looking to check off a bucket list item of their own,
just do it. Just do it.
Angela Gemmel, CTV News, Sudbury.
What a brave way to celebrate a birthday. Happy belated birthday, Carol. That's all the time we have tonight. Thanks for spending a bit of your Friday night with us. Have a great weekend. Good night.